Hello, my name is Crystal Martin, and I serve as the National Director of the Network of Women Ministers. As a young married woman in my early 20s, God called me into ministerial service. The few but powerful words, "lead this generation to the nations," echoed in a damp basement of a small Assemblies of God church. The axiom for the next 20 years of ministerial service was birthed in that moment, setting my life on the trajectory of full-time ministry. My college degree is in education, and my early plan was to teach school for a few years before pursuing a track to become a principal. The roadmap to this journey was clear. The new GPS for a young woman with a ministry call seemed murky. God was faithful to pave a way, but my journey has taught me a great deal about why it is so very important for women to find place and space to pursue their calling and express their gifts at every level of church leadership, not just for the sake of women, but for the sake of the gospel. The Network of Women Ministers is committed to mobilizing women to fulfill their ministerial call, as we believe the image of God is best reflected and the Church of Jesus Christ is healthiest when both men and women are empowered to fulfill their calling at every level of ministerial leadership. During this session, we are going to look at a non-exhaustive list of 5 reasons why men and women should lead side by side. First, it is important in the Bible. God created man and woman in his image and sent them out to rule the rest of the created world together. During his time on earth, Jesus commissioned the first woman evangelist in Samaria and gave women place and position in his inner circle of workers. After his resurrected time on earth, he commissioned both men and women to build his kingdom among all nations. Post-Pentecost, the Holy Spirit was poured out on all flesh, men and women. The present harvest begs for men and women to labor together, according to calling, to accomplish his work on earth. Second, it is important in Western postmodern culture. Paul was a genius at using cultural norms to give listeners a window into the gospel. The Assemblies of God Church has an unprecedented opportunity to leverage its biblically based position, giving women at every level of church leadership the authority to procure a front row seat for American culture to peek into who Jesus really was, an emancipator and commissioner of women. In the shadow of #MeToo and other movements where women are standing up in the face of discrimination and abuse to seek human justice for themselves, leaders in the Assemblies of God have the opportunity to rise up together, men and women, to seek kingdom justice for women. This can be partially accomplished by creating a safe, inclusive environment for every individual's gifts and callings to flourish in the Church of Jesus Christ. Third, it is important in your church. In your church, you are developing little girls and young women to trust and obey God. It is important that the fertile ground of their hearts and their sensitivity to the call of God is watered by female role models. We can be catalysts to stir the call of God in their hearts. It is also important to train your congregation to receive biblical teaching and leadership covering from both men and women. Every time I speak at a church, retreat, or a Chi Alpha gathering, I have a line of both men and women thanking me for leading the way and being a female role model. Young women in the audience are on the edge of their seats, engaged as their hearts open to what could be. Fourth, it is important for a healthy team. Most of us are looking toward leadership and social science research to help us design and develop an organizational schema that brings health to the living dynamic of human ministry teams. We may look at strength-based research, Jim Collins, or a plethora of other choices. Whatever you decide to read and wherever your research takes you, one truth is consistent in all research. Teams that have a healthy balance of male and female leadership are more creative, more innovative, and more flexible. Creativity, innovation, and flexibility are ingredients any team needs as we work toward kingdom effectiveness. If you are looking for growth in these areas and find that your decision makers are mostly male, it is time to leverage diversity for higher levels of excellence and cultural relevance. Lastly, it is important for moms. The narrative that the larger evangelical church has been feeding moms has often kept the vision for their lives in a box. There is a strong rhetoric in the church world that Christian women cannot work full-time and raise healthy children. This is even more pronounced with the ministry portfolio. However, this is a cultural reaction, not a biblical mandate. The business world is bending over backwards to make the work environment friendly to a working mom, as the value she brings to a business far outweighs the accommodations given for healthy parenting. We must create environments where moms and dads can listen to the Holy Spirit and follow His plan for their parenting and work. Let's not feed a one-size-fits-all Christian parent approach. I am personally a healthier mom as a working mom. Many moms are healthier staying at home with kids. I have been thankful for a ministry environment where my voice, gifts, and leadership abilities have been actualized during primary parenting season. Let's break the one-size-fits-all cultural evangelical box and embrace the kingdom narrative. Good intentions will not bridge the gap that exists between what we believe and what we practice regarding the equipping and commissioning of female ministers. It will take pastors and leaders bringing intentionality to the process. The 5 principles we covered will help you have a better foundation when beginning that process.